Good morning. I'm excited about this Sunday because this Sunday we're continuing on with our sermon series, St. Luke's on Broadway, by looking at the musical Les Misérables. It's obviously one of the greatest musicals of all time, written by Victor Hugo. As I began digging into it and preparing for Sunday, I got to learning about an actress who played Fantine in the musical, and that was Lea Salonga. Leia is an amazing lady. She was born in the Philippines. She was raised there in Manila. As a young girl, her cousin would come over to babysit and bring her guitar and sing with her, and it turned out that Leia had this incredible voice, and she so enjoyed singing. She found herself getting invited to sing at all kinds of family gatherings or birthday parties, and she was always happy to sing if somebody asked her to. It wasn't long until she was just a young child, 7 years old, made her professional debut in the Repertory Philippines musical production of The King and I. And after that, she played in Annie, and then Fiddler on the Roof, and The Sound of Music. This is all as just a young child. And she said, I never remember being afraid. It just always seemed so natural. Well, she enjoyed singing, and her mother and father recognized that she had a gift, an incredible voice. So her mom and dad saved up so they could rent a musical studio, a recording studio, and a band, and they got people together, and she went and sang songs, and they cut a small vinyl record. And then her mom began taking it to all kinds of music stores there in Manila and trying to say, would you take some of these? Would you be willing to sell these? Many said no. A few said yes. And whenever they'd take them, and then people could play them, they started selling like crazy. And they would be asking for more, and they would produce more, and that's how it started and got rolling. She became known as this amazing singer in Manila, but actually in the Philippines. But her great dream in life was actually to be a doctor. She'd worked hard, she studied. She was enrolled as a freshman there at the university in Manila, and she was doing pre-med. She was a biology major. When there became an announcement they were going to be having casting calls, they were going to be having auditions for a show called Miss Saigon. And people called and all said, you need to go audition, you need to audition. And she wasn't looking for something like that. She was working at becoming a doctor. But she decided to go do it, and she did, and she was chosen. And she was chosen among several who were then flown to London for another casting call, and sure enough, she was given the lead in Miss Saigon. 17 years old. And so it opened there in West End in London. It was a huge success. I mean, it was within 1 year. They took it to Broadway in New York. And there again, she continued to star. 2 months after Miss Saigon opened on Broadway, it was the Tony Awards, and she won the Tony Award for Best Leading Actress in a Musical. She was now 18 years old. Her world was changed forever. Obviously in Miss Saigon, she would go on to be in Les Mis. She's now been singing for 2 different Disney princesses in the movie Aladdin and Mulan. Now, she's had this incredible career. But what I love about her is the fact that she is such a person of faith. She was raised as a good Catholic, and she doesn't always agree with everything in her Catholic faith, but she thinks about it and she will talk about it. But the one thing she feels so strongly about that has taught her in her faith is the importance of loving all people. She is a lady who truly goes out of her way to be respectful and kind and to love others who may think differently from her or look differently from her. No, she's an amazing lady. This Sunday, we're going to be looking at Les Misérables. And we're going to look at all the struggles that Victor Hugo wrote about in society, all the prejudice and struggles and poverty, and yet also all the hope that comes. The hope that can come because of our faith in Christ. We are the people who really can make a difference in this world by reaching out and loving one another and giving people hope when they're in a hard time. I hope to see you on Sunday online. I hope you'll be worshiping with us, as the music is going to be incredible and over the top. And I think we're going to be reminded of just how important it is in this world to love our neighbor, no exception. I hope you have a great weekend.